folks, Jackson Evans here from Benedetto Guitars in Savannah, Georgia. I am making this video at the request of Jazz Guitar Today magazine. It's a new online magazine for jazz guitarists around the world, a fantastic resource. Bob Baker, one of the editors, and I have recently been discussing all of the different types of guitars used to make jazz music these days. On the acoustic side of things, you have players like Frank Vignola, Martin Taylor, Craig Wagner, who are using carved archtop guitars with floating pickups to get the most acoustic response out of their instrument possible. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have Julian Lage and Bill Frisell using Telecaster-style instruments, which have virtually no acoustic response at all and are totally electronic. They're all making wonderful, fantastic music with these instruments, and their choices depend on the tone they're after. So we decided we'd demonstrate an electric guitar and a carved archtop guitar so you could sort of hear the difference between those two approaches. I'm going to narrow the margins just a little bit, so not a 17-inch floating pickup situation on my right and not a complete solid body on my left. I don't want to compare apples to oranges. Instead, we'll compare Honeycrisp to Gala apples. On my right, I have our 16B model. The Benedetto 16B is a carved archtop guitar, 16-inch lower bout by 2.5-inch depth, so it's a real comfortable guitar with a built-in pickup, so you have a few acoustic compromises in order to get some feedback resistance and some portability. On my left, I have our GA35 model, which is a chambered solid body guitar. Both guitars feature Benedetto A6 pickups and Benedetto strings. So even though the gauges are different, you're going to be mostly hearing the differences in the construction techniques. The amplifier I'm using is an acoustic image. It's set totally flat, so there is no coloration coming from the amplifier itself. If I were using these different guitars for different styles of music, I would probably put this one in a tube amp, say, and this one in the setup we have, depending on what I'm going for. I've done vice versa with both styles of instruments. That's all up to the player. I just want you guys to hear the difference between a carved archtop guitar and a chambered solid body so you can kind of get an idea of what the construction does to affect the sound. So, to demonstrate, I'm going to play 3 times through a B-flat blues. I'll do acoustic first time, and then I'll get the amplifier involved for 2 more times through, and I'll try to vary the styles so that you can hear a little bit of how a player might approach using these different guitars differently. So I'll start with the 16B. I'll be impressed if you can hear that, especially if you're listening on earbuds or laptop speakers. Now amplified. And now, the same thing on the GA35 chambered solid body guitar. Here's with the amplifier. As an added bonus, this one has the bridge pickup, so you can get a little brighter and a little funkier, adding for a little more versatility, and you can get a little bit bluesy with that too. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you have questions, you can reach out to the guys at Jazz Guitar Magazine, or you can email me directly at jevans@benedettoguitars.com. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, and happy picking.